Over the past 2 weeks, I've been feeling like I'm going to melt into the floor. I've been having long days and restless nights. I allowed burnout to creep up on me. This is what happens when you ignore your body and continue to push and push yourself despite the sluggishness and irritation. My feelings of disconnection started to subside when I went inwards and forced myself to take a break. I took time to do nothing to allow my body to restore itself. I lived life with the purpose of simply living instead of living to constantly achieve. If you're feeling like life is too much right now and it's getting harder and harder to get up out of bed every day, it's probably burnout. Here's some signs of burnout that I noticed and what I did to balance my equilibrium and regulate my nervous system.
Hey my plums and my girls from all over the world. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be here with you guys because I feel like it's been a while since I filmed a YouTube video. Well, for you guys, I've been filming this whole time, but one of the main reasons that I haven't filmed a YouTube video or I haven't been filming is because I was experiencing the early signs of burnout. That's why we're talking about this today. I had a whole other video planned. I wanted to do all of these different things and then burnout just hit me like a truck. And most of the time, that's exactly what happens. Burnout is something I've been affected by many times in my life, as do millions of people. The way that I got out of my burnout was by acknowledging the feeling and acknowledging the burnout presence. Today, I want to tell you guys how I saw the burnout, what I did to prevent me going into complete burnout, which can last for months, and what you can do to prevent burnout. I am making this a generic video for anybody who's ever experienced burnout, but I will say that I am a neurodivergent person, and neurodivergent people experience burnout differently than neurotypical people. Some of these signs I'm gonna say you can also experience if you're neurotypical, but a lot of them are tailored to neurodivergent people because I am a neurodivergent person. And it's crucial for anybody, neurodivergent or neurotypical, to be in tune with themselves and to be able to see the signs of your body needing rest before you go into complete shutdown, which is what I did not want. I've been there before. A couple of years ago, I had really bad burnout that lasted like 4 months. I've spent so much time recently diving into self-care and spiritual wellness, and not self-care in like beauty standards, because that's a conversation for a whole nother day. Self-care doesn't mean that you're doing a mask and you're doing a girl shower. Like, that is self-care, but that's not all that self-care is. Self-care is doing art. Self-care is going on a walk. Self-care is doing the things that help you get in tune with yourself. It doesn't have to be related to how you look. I just want to put that out there. There are some signs of burnout that I noticed before I completely go into full burnout, so I wanted to share those with you today. Less interest and less desire to do things that you normally love doing. I'm an artist, so I love creating, I love painting, I love filming, I love making things. I noticed that when I'm starting to get burnt out or I'm seeing those signs of burning out, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to paint. I don't want to create because I simply don't have the energy for it. Even for those things that I would normally do all day, every day. And the main reason I think this is because of how I structure my life and I create tasks for myself. And some of those tasks are creative tasks that I like doing. But because I'm going into burnout, I'm experiencing a lot of PDA, which is my next sign. Specifically for neurodivergent people, PDA is persistent demand for autonomy, which is what I prefer to call it over what they normally call PDA. They normally call PDA persistent demand avoidance, which it is kind of that, but that phrasing has made neurodivergent people get shamed for, especially in school settings, because they will say, oh, she's dealing with PDA, persistent demand avoidance, she's just being a bad child, she just doesn't want to listen to the teacher, when that's not what it is. It's because it's a persistent drive for autonomy. So you're constantly trying to have your sense of self and do the things that you want to do. I don't want to do something when you want me to do it, but I'm still going to do it. That's me wanting my autonomy. That's me wanting not necessarily do what I want to do, but have my own choices in life and control over my experience and control over my own body. And for me, that tends to kick in to like 100% when I'm burnt out. I consistently will not do the things or the demands that even I put on my own self. So that was happening a lot. I wanted to go to the gym, I wanted to paint, I wanted to do certain creative tasks that would help me fulfill bigger goals, but I couldn't get myself to do it. Your body is trying to tell you, you don't have the energy to do these things because you need to rest, and you're not listening, you're not resting. And so I don't want to do it. And so I'm gonna have extremely low effort and low energy to even get up and do this thing. Even this thing that I told myself I needed to do, you know? If you're seeing that that's happening a lot more, your PDA is extremely high, it's your body literally trying to tell you to slow down, to stop even.
To combat this during my recovery period, I did not continue to put pressure on myself to finish my tasks or to work on projects when I didn't have the energy to do so. This allowed my body a break, and I actually made a lot of art when I could come to it just for fun and with no pressure. I made art just because I felt pulled to, instead of forcing myself to work on my various art projects just to get them closer to being finished and checked off my to-do list.
Another part of that is initiating tasks. It's really hard. If you have ADHD or autism, you probably experience executive dysfunction anyway, but when you're burning out, it's really, really bad. And it's also really, really bad paralysis between different tasks. And I found that I was just like not doing anything. Like I couldn't even initiate a task, and then I just ended up doing nothing. Or I would do one task 4 hours that it didn't even need to do that because I just wasn't focused and I couldn't really concentrate on doing that task because I don't have any energy. The next sign that you are probably going into burnout is extreme fatigue or lethargy. I mean, like literally feeling like a slug moving around the world. That's exactly how I was feeling. I was extremely lethargic. I just wanted to sleep constantly, even after I slept. And some of the time it was because I didn't sleep. I was getting like 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep a night. And even if you aren't experiencing that and you are getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you probably still are feeling that because you need like 10 hours of sleep because your body is trying to go into a recovery mode. You know, you're going into burnout. You need to stop, you need to rest. And I had a day where I was recovering where I slept for 12 hours. And it was because my body genuinely needed that. It's not a regular type of tiredness. It's like literally feeling like your body is super heavy and everything, simple or difficult, is hard to do.
The only way to recover from extreme fatigue and lethargy is to give into it. I allowed myself to sleep and bed rot for hours. And in my waking hours, I still did restful things. I spent a lot of extra time reading and practicing my spiritual wellness routines, like breathwork, somatics, meditation, and yoga. I wanted to assist my body in releasing energy and trauma by moving my body intentionally and slowly. I just had a very restorative rising. I love doing yoga outside. It is way better than doing it inside. Feeling the sun and the breeze on you just makes the whole practice flow and just feel so nice. I feel like the breeze outside also helps me with my breathing as I move into different asanas. So yoga outside for the win. Recently, I've been adding a product to my spiritual practices that has been enhancing the quality of them. My meditation, my yoga, and my sleep. Natural Shilajit sent me this product. It is the X12 Ormus Monoatomic Gold. It is a mineral formula that has no artificial additives. I basically take 3 drops of this and put it under my tongue about 15 minutes before my yoga practice or my meditation or right before I go to bed. The best way that I can describe the effects of this product is the state that you are in once you get about 20 minutes into a yoga practice, if you practice yoga for that long, or even 10 minutes. The way that you feel at the end of a yoga practice or at the end of a meditation or in the middle of a meditation, this product makes me feel that way at the beginning of my practice. It completely
gets me in the flow state and helps me clear my mind. Especially before meditations, when I take this, I find it easier to calm my mind. I know a lot of you guys ask me about meditation a lot, and you say, you know, even 5 minutes is hard for me because my brain is just rampant with all of these thoughts. I would definitely recommend this product to help you get into that state of mind where your breathing is the only thing that you can focus on. It helps you relieve those thoughts from your head much faster. It also has tremendously helped me with my sleep for that reason, because it helps me clear my mind. It helps me go to sleep a lot faster, especially on those nights where I feel super restless. I will take X12 Ormus to help me get into a peaceful state and be able to drift off into sleep. I would definitely recommend this product if you want an enhancer to your spiritual wellness routine. I have been trying this product for weeks before I would come on here and tell you guys anything about it, because I am a spiritual guru. I love yoga, I love meditation. I do these practices daily, and this has truly helped me in my practice. It is truly an enhancer to the quality. If you would like to try the product, I will leave a link for it down below. If you try it, please DM me and let me know how you feel after a couple weeks of using it. My next sign is depressive moods, depressive thoughts, and sometimes suicidal thoughts. Especially if you're neurodivergent, I know that I've heard a lot of other neurodivergent people say they experience this when they get like super down or tired or overwhelmed. Sometimes they just get suicidal thoughts. And it's not because you don't want to live. It's kind of like your brain just goes to a completely negative space because of how you're feeling, and your body, basically your mind is just like a manifestation of how your body is feeling, and you start to have these depressive moods because you're just tired of everything. You're extremely overwhelmed, and that's what burnout is as well. Extreme overwhelm can cause these depressive mood swings, these thoughts of just self-doubt, that you're not enough, that you can't really do this, you can't do simple tasks, you can't do anything then. And it's just a pit that starts to just dig itself and dig itself and dig itself. And when you start seeing your mind's eye in that place, you know that it's something needs to change, something's wrong, especially if that's not your normal state, and it shouldn't be your normal state. You should really stop and go in tune and evaluate with yourself, what is that feeling? Why am I feeling that way? I also want to mention that the suicide rate for individuals with autism is 3 to 9 times greater than the neurotypical population. Demands, the pressure, it's a lot for individuals who are struggling with things like autism and ADHD. If that describes you, you really need to take these things seriously and know that you have to give yourself more accommodations than somebody else might. And you don't have to feel shame for that. You don't have to feel shame. You're still going to get to your goals, because time is infinite, and it doesn't matter how fast you're moving. It matters the intention behind what you're doing and the quality of work that you're putting in. So when you get overwhelmed, know that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to say, I need to slow down. And I have to give myself accommodation. I have to do things differently for myself. It's very important to realize that. And that's another reason I'm making this video, because a lot of neurodivergent people have grown up masking, and they're trying to fit into a neurotypical shell that you just don't fit into. So you got to make your own shell. You got to make your own structure for yourself that's going to work best for you. And that doesn't make your nervous system dysregulated.
When I get overwhelmed and start to think negatively, there are 2 things that heal me: nature and a journal. During my recovery, on a day I felt up to it, I went to a little nature trail.
Oh my gosh, it's a public library. I love these. Let's see what we got. Preston and Child. The Letter Keeper. Oh my God, wait. Look at this book. They made a movie about this on Netflix. It's called A Man Called Otis or something. It's called Otis on Netflix, but I guess in the book it's Ovi. This was such a good movie. I literally almost cried, and I did not know it was a book, so I'm definitely reading this. Just like I watched The Lovely Bones. I watched The Lovely Bones before I read the book, because I didn't even know that was a book. And then I read the book. The book was amazing. Better than the movie, but they're both pretty good. I think they did the movie very well, so I want to see if they did this movie just as good. Oh my God! I love public book libraries.
Seeing the greenery and hearing the language nature speaks calmed me so much. The leaves moving in the wind reminded me that I needed to let go. The water reminded me to flow. I was pulled quickly into the present moment and was reassured by the universe that everything is going to be okay. I wrote to my journal how I was feeling to release it and express gratitude for the beauty I was so blessed to bear witness to that day. Once I connected to myself with Mother Earth, who connects all things, I felt extremely rejuvenated.
The next sign is being very easily overstimulated or irritated. If you're experiencing burnout or going into burnout, every little thing is going to irritate you, because if you're extremely tired, everything would irritate you. If you were on a regular day and you weren't experiencing burnout, but you only got 3 hours of sleep, little things will start to irritate you. So imagine that feeling times 10, because it's been built up over months of time. Every little thing is irritating you. It's hard for you to get tasks done. You're tired, you're overwhelmed, and also sensory sensitive for my neurodivergent people. Extremely sensory sensitive to things that you would normally be sensory sensitive to, but it's like on a 10. It's like every little thing. It's like every little thing is overstimulating you. And I was definitely dealing with that. I already don't like loud noises. I just don't like noise that I can't control. And it was just irritating me way more than it usually does, because I've learned to like deal with some of my sensory issues, the ones that I just can't get rid of sometimes. But when I was going into burnout, it was like I just really could not bear it. I really just couldn't deal with it. One day I had a neighbor, or somebody was doing some type of work outside. I don't know what was going on, but I was reading, and then I just suddenly heard this loud noise, and I don't know if I've ever been more irritated in my life. I literally got so irritated, I went into the bathroom and put on headphones, and I stayed in there for like 4 hours in the bathroom until those people left. That's the type of irritation that I'm talking about. That's the type of sensory overload that you're gonna start to feel, and it's gonna be a lot more draining for you, because you're already in a dysregulated state that you're not paying attention to. Because I believe burnout happens when we're not paying attention to ourselves and to our bodies. And another reason for this is because being extremely fatigued, lethargic, and overwhelmed makes it harder for neurodivergent people to mask. And when you're not masking and you seem more autistic and it's a lot going on in your world that other people can't see, it's extremely unsettling and extremely irritating. And that's going to be a more overwhelming feeling when you're in a burnout state. Another big sign that you're close to burnout is less care about hygiene and physical appearance. This seems similar to depression. It is not, and I will explain why later. But you just care less about like getting dressed, getting cute to go out, because you just don't have any energy. You're burning out. Everything is a drag. Everything is 10 times harder than it usually is. And sometimes you just can't even get yourself to like take a shower after you've been in the bed all day. And this is very similar to depression, where in depression, your hygiene and physical appearance suffer because of the state of mind that you're in. But the difference between depression and burnout is that depression is not feeling like it's worth it to care to do these things, whereas burnout is, I don't have the energy to do these things. Burnout is you simply being depleted. So you don't have the energy to want to get dressed up and get cute to go out like you normally would. Or you just skip a few showers just so you can go straight to bed some days because you're tired. Next sign that you're going to burnout is self-medication. So doing more drugs and alcohol. If you smoke or drink on a regular basis, but you know, it's social or it's just not as often, but you find yourself smoking a lot more, drinking a lot more, that means that there's something that's bothering you that you're trying to get away from. Because things like alcohol and drugs is a distraction from life. It's a distraction from your regular sensory experience. So if you're craving that distraction more, it's because there's something that you're trying to get away from. Using substances in a way to numb your mind from the negativity that you're experiencing. I was like having a glass of wine every day, and that's normally not what I do. Like I drink socially, sometimes I drink like by myself, but not very often. But I was doing it a lot more because I just could not deal with the world at the moment. And if you are experiencing that and you are extremely tired and you're seeing all of these signs, it's a good chance that you're going into burnout. Once you see these signs, you have to take action, because these symptoms are only going to keep getting worse until your body is just going to be like, just stop. We're just going to hibernate. And then you're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to do anything. There's a pre-burnout phase, and then there's actual burnout. And once you get to actual burnout, it's a lot harder to pull yourself out of that, because your body literally has to force you to be dormant because you're not listening, you're not being in tune with yourself, and taking that rest. Once I realized I was experiencing that, I took steps to make sure that I didn't experience full burnout. I was proactive about my situation. And I did that by forcing myself to take a break. Going inward to take a break forced me to address the toxic way I felt that lazy and not enough just because I wasn't working on my passions and doing all the things that I normally do, without taking into account that the reason I wasn't doing those things was because my body needed rest. So I decided to recover and rebel against that by doing things that weren't productive on purpose. I did things just for fun, things that had no purpose, things I had no reason to do just because I can, and that's what life is about. Life is about experiencing. So I took time to go inward with that and to experience. Just do things for fun, bed rot, eat food you know you probably shouldn't eat just because it's easier to cook than something else that's a little bit healthier. Just do things that you don't normally do. That's gonna help you get back into your structured, scheduled routines. Allow your body to get a break from constant demands. I spent so much time with myself and in nature. I took a week not to care. I took a week to breathe fresh air and love on myself. There's nothing wrong with taking rest, and no time is lost just because you need to take a break. Nature and art always help me connect with myself and remember who I am at my core. The truth of my essence, I am here to experience as a human being, as we all are. It's really cold. Like, I've been feeling a lot better these past 2 weeks. I believe everything happens for a reason and everything happens in divine timing. And the timing that my burnout came right when like the seasons are changing was really a sign to me that it's like, it's time to slow down, because winter arc, fall, that's when it's time to slow down. I was born on winter solstice, so like on my birthday, winter is starting. This is the reason I feel a lot of people burn out actually. It's because we're so stuck on like hustle culture and like discipline that we are not in tune with our bodies, and like everything in the world teaches us to feel things externally and to focus on the external world instead of focusing in on ourselves. So a lot of us are not in tune with ourselves, and we're just going to keep going and going and going and going, because every deadline that we hit is like a hit of dopamine, but then it's just like right after that it's like, okay, it's on to the next thing, you know what I mean? And when you're like that, when you're constantly on go like that, your body doesn't get any downtime. And I think we also think that we always have to rush. That's why I'm moving into devotion over discipline, because devotion is me being in tune with my body and listening to myself, but I'm still getting things done because time is infinite. I don't have to continuously rush. I don't have to constantly be on go mode to reach my goals. I am devoted to my craft. I'm devoted to my art, and I am going to meet my goals. I am going to pursue, but I am not going to run myself into the ground to do so. Discipline tells me to constantly be on go, constantly. And discipline has taught me nothing but to tie my productivity to my self-worth. It has taught me that if I'm not getting things done, if I have a down day or a boring day, that I'm not going to reach my goals, that I'm not shit. Lazy when I have those days, and it's not fair to myself, because you're allowed to have boring days. You're allowed to have downtime. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to have a day where you don't do anything. You're allowed to have a day where you only do 2 things off of your list. You know what I mean? Once I move into time is infinite, I don't have to rush. I find it okay when I only did 2 things off my list today because I got something done. And that's something. Life isn't just about chasing goals. Life isn't just about checking off a list. Life is also about this. Like, I'm just sitting here at the lake watching the waves. But life is also about that. Life is also about being, about experiencing. We're not constantly supposed to be chasing something. We're not constantly supposed to be trying to develop ourselves, because I have developed myself a lot. So I'm trying to enjoy my development. I'm trying to enjoy myself in the era I am in right now, because I worked hard to be here and I have accomplished a lot of things. And when you're constantly in hustle culture mode, you don't even get to stop and see like, wow, I've done so much. But when you slow down
You can see it so clearly, like that you've worked really hard. And so I think that burnout is actually a good thing, because it's your body forcing you to listen. It's your body forcing you to listen, literally. I actively am in tune with myself, and I'm actively trying to be proactive about seeing the signs and being like, okay, I need to slow down. My body's trying to tell me to slow down. And listening to that instead of getting to that point and just trying to push myself and push myself and push myself until I just can't go anymore. Realize no matter how much you continue to be like, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. As soon as you do that thing, it's on to the next thing, it's on to the next thing. Constantly, it's just like that. There is time in between that to slow down and just experience life. We all suffer from tying our self-worth to our productivity and how much we're working. Because the truth of the matter is that schools, college, not as much college, but the whole system that we're forced to participate in is making factory workers. Like, do your research. This is where school and stuff like that comes from. And so we're like, dang, I got a 70 on my test. I'm not good enough. You're not a number. You are not your credit score. You are way more than these things that society tries to make you feel like, tells you how much you're worth, but that's bullshit. You are worth everything just because you exist, just because you are here and you're experiencing life. The other day, and I did this a week ago, and I just did it again, where like I was supposed to be doing things on a certain day, but then I just ended up going on a adventure with my friend, and we just like hung out for 2 days straight, and it's fine. Like it's fine. I was experiencing life. I was having fun. I can do that. There's time for that in between me doing tasks to reach my goals. There's time for me to live life. Especially if you're an artist, this is important for you, because I'm an artist and I completely understand getting overconsumed by your art, canceling plans, even not having friends for a while, because I went through that. And recently you guys see that I am prioritizing living my life. And that's when the people came into my life, because I opened the door for that. But that's a whole nother conversation. I was just being overconsumed by my art to the point where it's just like, I forgot that there is more to life outside of your art. Yes, your art is important. Your life is more than what you do. It is more than that. This is the journey. This is the journey. And once I get to the success that I'm looking for, I'm going to look back on this time and be like, wow, like, you know what I mean? This is just all a part of the journey. Make time for your experience and make time to go in tune and listen to your body. Spend time with your body. Spend time with your body. Yoga, meditation. That's how you get in tune. You have to be able to sit with yourself. And especially if you're a neurodivergent person, the motto that I always go by is that I work with my energy. So if I don't have enough spoons to do everything that I wanted to do that day, that is okay. I have to work with my energy levels, because that's just how my brain works. Your brain needs rest. Just because you're not physically working, your brain has been working for you. And you need rest. You need rest even if you didn't do anything. How about that? It's time to heal yourself from exhaustion and almost going into burnout. Slowing down, coming back to yourself, going internally, having fun, laying down all day, going for walks, doing yoga, doing whatever you want to do so that your body can rejuvenate. Because when you work slowly, you're working more intentionally and you're actually getting more done. As crazy as it sounds, you actually are when you're working slower, when you're doing things slower, when you move with intention. So with intention, we are slowing down and we are pinning ourselves to the present moment, because this is where we live.
I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you're seeing this and you feel like you're going into burnout or you're experiencing these symptoms, you're overwhelmed and you're very close to shutting down, take time for yourself, breathe, lift demands off of yourself. Give yourself a week to just be and not have to do. Share only encouragement in the comments below. Make sure that you guys subscribe so that you can see my next video, and that you have post notifications on, that little bell, so that you can be notified when I upload a new video, which I will be very soon. I love you guys. Thank you for your presence.